So for the hybridization and also for intermolecular forces, you have to later on you have to read from the textbook page 77, page 67 until complete of chapter 3. So today is the last theory of chapter 3. Okay, I made the discussion uh, in the form of video, so we'll have the same explanation as the 11B. Okay, so
Teacher,
yes,
I want to ask for the ionic bonding for like example question number one, the Na. If like I don't draw the circle just in the square bracket, just the symbol Na without that circle, is
oh,
it fine?
the excuse me, can you repeat, Natasha?
Example for the ionic bondings, like here's like example number one, NaCl, and then like the Na, there's like no circle. I just give like open and close square bracket at the top first, and then only the symbol Na without the circle.
Yeah, it's okay.
Oh, it's okay. Thank you, teacher. Teacher, teacher.
Yes.
For question number five, the covalent bond, there's like two Cl's, right? The to represent the electrons, like if both the Cl's electron symbol is same, fine, or it has to be different.
The Cl has to be bonded with other Cl. One dot, one cross.
Cannot like either cross only or dots.
Oh, it preferably to be different because if different, we are able to know this cross comes from which chlorine and the other one comes from which chlorine.
So it has to be different.
Yeah, to show that they are sharing electrons.
And teacher, for question number two, the ionic bonding. Since there's two Cl, instead of drawing like the Cl twice, can you like put the number two in front of the
Okay, no problem. No problem.
okay. Thank you, teacher.
Yes.
Teacher Dodo, I don't think we can hear the audio in the from the video.
Yes.
I don't think we can hear the audio from the video.
How come?
We can only hear the background noise from the other teachers.
Okay. Can you hear it?
No, teacher.
Can you hear her now? Hello, Natasha.
I don't understand anything.
Could you hear the voice from the video?
No, sir. I cannot hear
I
anything.
think the background noise is too loud.
Why? But what is too loud?
The background noise, like I think there are other teachers in the room.
Okay, yeah.
So what is this? I'm confused.
It was the discussion from the yesterday's worksheet.
Oh.
Yesterday I gave you worksheet about dot and cross diagrams. Alright?
Yeah. I thought this one is for the electronegativity thing.
No.
That's it.
The discussion of the electronegativity will be tomorrow because today I give the worksheet, so tomorrow I will discuss it with you. And then after this, I'm going to explain about uh, hybridization and intermolecular forces.
I have a question.
Yes.
For like the ionic bonding diagram, for example, Na and Cl, like there's no addition sign in between them, right? But what if we add a plus sign? Is it fine or
What is the?
for the ionic bonding? Like example, there's Na and Cl. Like in teacher's explanation video before in the diagram, there was no plus sign. But what if we give a plus sign in between NA and CL. Is that allowed?
I'm not clear. I am currently at school. I use the school laptop. The voice is not come out clear. The speaker is not clear. Can you repeat?
For ionic bonding, there is example of NaCl. There's a diagram of Na and there's a diagram of Cl. If we give an addition or like a subtraction in between Na and Cl, is that allowed?
Oh, yeah, it's okay.
Okay, thank you, teacher.
Yeah. Okay. Now I'm going to give the explanation about the hybridization and also intermolecular forces.
Keep your audio muted, okay? Frank, Hugo, hello.
Teacher, I don't think there's the audio.
Yeah, what is going on? Yeah, what is going on here?
You cannot hear the voice.
Yeah,
Okay.
I cannot see the video.
Oh, you cannot turn on the video.
I don't know.
Okay. In that case, please open the slide that I give on Google Classroom.
It also happens guys on an ingredient. I will enjoy here. Right? So like this is kidney.
Have you open it?
Let's see kidney like this. Inside the kidney there are so many kidney receptors. They are called diaphragms. Okay? So this kidney.
I don't know.
Happens here. The blood
I don't know.
kidney. Right? This is the filtered blood. Okay, that is filtered here. Almost useful substances also are filtered along with the paste, right? Useful substances here, right? So this is done by
Okay, already.
this part, right? This is the blood capillary surrounding. So from the filtrate, useful substances like glucose will be reabsorbed, right?
Already. Have you open?
Already
This one, this is about hybridization. Hybridization is happening when the electrons are excited. Okay. What is the meaning when they are excited? When there is an energy from others to make the electrons to move, and then the electrons can change their position. They have their own arrangement. As we know, they are located in s orbital, p orbital, d orbital, and f orbital. Okay, and And then this one, intermolecular
We go
forces.
So we move now.
This one, hybridization. Hybridization. This one, hybridization. There is unhybridized. There's two px orbital. We know that p orbital there are three. This is px, py, and pz. And then also there is an s orbital. And then there they, in order to make bond, they have to be overlap. In the unhybridized, if overlap, they will give this structure. The structure is not the best. Why? Because this one, it shows that the P, this one is still dominant over this one. And then, in order to make the perfect one, these electrons, these atoms must undergo hybridization. Okay, hybridization is when an atom is excited, it ready to receive other electrons from different atom. This one is in sp3 hybridized orbital. This is in s orbital. So this one is better overlap, and then finally it gives this one. So this overlapping is being distorted. Next, hybridization. This one, there is sp3 hybridized. sp3 hybridized is having in single bond. Okay, this is taken from the carbon, ground state carbon. The ground state carbon is having 1s2, 2s2, and then 2p2. When there is an energy given up goes inside the atom, so these electrons will undergo hybridization. Hybridization, it will form an sp3. sp3 counted from the outermost shell of electron. This is 2s, 2px, 2px, 2py, 2pz. This because there are three. Because there are three. This one. So and one s, so called as sp3. And then the sp2 hybridization. sp2 hybridization is this one is a ground state of carbon, and then excited state carbon become sp3. Okay, sp3, and then sp2 hybridized. We know that in double bond there is a sigma bond and there is a pi bond. The pi bond occurs when two p orbitals overlap. Okay, the overlap is giving in this one. This p orbital will overlap with the other p orbital from different atom. Well, this one sp will make a single bond with the other atom. And then there is an sp hybridization. sp hybridization, this is repeat again, atomic configuration of carbon in ground state. So there is 1s2, 2s2, and then 2p2. 2p2, one in px, one in py, and empty in pz. And then for the atomic configuration of carbon in excited state, it is 1s2, 2s1, and then 2p3. And then in order to achieve the triple bond, sp hybridization, it must be 2 sp hybridized orbital, and then two unhybridized orbitals. These two unhybridized orbitals come from the p orbital will make the double bond. So the double bond, one p make a bond. Oh, sorry. One p here make a bond, and then the other p, this one will make a bond. So in sp hybridization, there are triple covalent bond. Next, in the ethene and ethine. Ethene and ethine, we know ethene having double bond, and ethine is also having triple covalent bond. So this one is about sp2 and sp hybridization. So for hybridization, if single covalent bond, then it has sp3. If double bond, it has sp2. If single bond if triple bond has sp hybridization. Okay, and then next, the localized pi bond. The localized pi bond, it is written on drawn also on your textbook. Structure of benzene. The structure of benzene is consisting of 6 carbon atoms in the form of ring. There are 3 double bonds. These 3 double bonds are located within the ring. In here, scientists have difficulty to determine which one is carbon atom number 1. Therefore, this double bond can be said it is rotating. Because they are rotating, so it is can be described as a ring structure. This is the description of the double bond, the overlapping of p orbitals. So this is double bond here, This is the overlap of p orbital, and the double bond occurs in this one also. And then as you can see, the position of double bond from here, from this B and A, they are different. In A, between 5 and 6. In B is between 4 and 5. So it means double bond can be put in anywhere, and the carbon atom number 1 can start from any point of carbon atom within the structure. Next. And then delocalized pi bond. What is the meaning by delocalized pi bond? Delocalized pi bond is because the double bond can rotate in any position of the carbon atom within the ring. That makes the pi bond can be drawn up and down, so forming a ring structure. Okay, this is in benzene to show the double bond that can rotate. That's the reason the shape is like ring. And then carboxylate ion. It is also taken from your textbook. The carboxylate ion also, the pi bond can also moving. What does it move? What does it mean? It means that the double bond can move from here to this one, and this one to this one. As we can see, this one, the double bond located over here. This is double bond. Why double bond? Because this is an overlapping of p orbitals. And then, what does it mean by this curve arrow? The arrow means the electron can go inside here, can goes to the C, and then this electron from the C is being pulled by the other oxygen atom within the carboxylate ion. Okay, and then this one, it describes the pi bond. So all the structure, the carboxylate DO, although it is single bond, it can have a double bond character. So only double bond character. It does not have the real double bond. The real double bond is only with one oxygen, not with all two oxygen. And then because it can place in any position of double bond move, so we draw and describe, express it with this half ring structure. Okay. Next, this carboxylate ion, as I told you, the position of the oxygen, either single bond or double bond, can be placed upper and bottom, or maybe can be switched also. So it is not certain, but the certain is consisting of C and O, two oxygen. Next, it is about intermolecular forces. Okay. Attractive intermolecular forces, it is defined as the attractive forces between molecules. Attractive forces between molecules means the forces between one molecule to another molecule, not between the atoms in the molecule. And then there are three types of intramolecular forces. Intra is inside. So intramolecular forces, there are three: covalent bonding, ionic bonding, and metallic bonding. Also reactive covalent bond that we started yesterday. I hope you still remember what is the meaning of covalent, ionic, reactive covalent bond, and also metallic. This is the difference in the intermolecular and also intramolecular. Okay. Intermolecular is between molecule. Intra is inside the molecule. Intramolecular in here is between the atom hydrogen and Cl atom. This one intermolecular is covalent bonding. While this one, the intermolecular forces between HCl molecule with another HCl molecule is called as permanent dipole. Okay. Now, types of intermolecular forces. There are three types of intermolecular forces. It is instantaneous dipole forces, permanent dipole forces, and then also hydrogen bonding. After this class, during the day until in the evening or any free time, of course you have free time, you have to read the textbook, because if you do not read the textbook, you will not get understanding about these intermolecular forces. Okay, instantaneous dipole forces. There are some points. The first point must be made up of covalent bonding, and then the instantaneous dipole is having a simple molecular structure. What is the meaning by simple molecular structure? It has low melting and boiling point. And then in instantaneous dipole forces, it is like a magnetic moment. Magnetic moment, it means it can attract in not in long period of time. And then the instantaneous dipole forces depends on the number of electrons and also shape of molecule. What does it mean by electrons? The more electrons in the central, it is the more the stronger the instantaneous dipole forces. So instantaneous dipole forces, the example of instantaneous dipole forces is iodine molecule, chlorine atoms, chlorine molecules, and also fluorine molecules. Of course, there are still other, so I only mentioned three of them. It is iodine molecule. Why is it iodine molecule? because iodine with iodine they have the same electronic activity, so they can eliminate each other. Finally, they don't have any electronic activity difference. And then for chlorine also the same. They do not have it does not have any electronic activity difference because Cl has negative and another Cl has also negative, so they are the same electronic activity. And then shape of molecule, it is related to the close contact the area of close contact of the molecule. You have to read in the textbook. And then permanent dipole forces. Permanent dipole forces is occurring in a molecule that has a difference in electronic activity. Example in this one is between hydrogen and chlorine. Hydrogen is positive and then chlorine is electronegative element. It forms a negative dipole. That's why it is written here is dipole negative Cl and then the hydrogen is dipole positive. So there is a consistent and permanent attraction between the one molecule of HCl with the other molecule of HCl that makes the HCl has a high melting and boiling point. And then the last is hydrogen bonding. Hydrogen bonding is the easiest. Why? Because it is very obvious. Hydrogen bonding occurs when hydrogen is bonded to nitrogen, fluorine, and oxygen. Because these three elements they are considered to be electronegative element. So when hydrogen is bonded to electronegative element, they will form hydrogen bonding. Example here is ammonia. Ammonia is having it has hydrogen bonding intermolecular forces, and then second one is hydrogen fluoride or fluoric acid. Hydrogen fluoride is also having hydrogen bonding. It makes the hydrogen fluoride easy to dissolve in water. So and then the last itself is oxygen. The oxygen itself with hydrogen it forms water. We know that water has hydrogen bonding that makes water is polar. We know from the concept that polar dissolve in polar, non-polar dissolve in non-polar. Polar cannot dissolve in non-polar, also non-polar cannot dissolve in polar. Okay, so this is the presentation about the chapter 3. So our chapter 3 is already completed. So in order for you to get understanding, you can review again, or you can see from the recording that I have made. I provide already the link. You can replay again if you do not understand. If you do not understand, replay again, and then you have to read also read the textbook. Okay. Is there any question?
Is it clear now?
Yes. I would like to ask from
Thank you, Leo.
Vedika. Hello, Vedika.
So here now some workbook question
Hello, Vedika.
will discuss. Okay. We'll start.
Any question?
Question number 1, I ask.
If I'm allowed to. I don't know.
Yes. Hello, Vedika.
Yes, teacher.
Do you have any question?
You just take out your workbook. Okay.
Yeah.
Chapter 3.
Noted. No. Okay. Nathan V.
Page number I tell you.
What is your question, Nathan V?
So basically, we just need to remember the P bond, the pi bond, and the sigma bond.
Yeah. Yeah, there is a sigma and pi bond.
Question number one, page number
Sigma and pi bond.
I
So basically, we have like two p bond, not the pi, the p, the letter from English. So we have to the two of them near each other, and therefore it will have make a pi bond and a sigma bond, right?
Yeah. If it is double bond, then so it has sigma and pi bond.
If it is a bond, don't show it.
Yeah. If triple bond, it has one sigma and two pi bonds.
Okay, so if it is a single bond, we show there is a sigma bond.
Yes, correct.
And
Okay. Okay. Now I ask from other students. Maybe before the class end, because after this class will end, so let me take attendance of grade 11S. Grade 11S, let me take attendance from here. There is Ariella, Beatrix, Pavia, Brian, Sherry is not here, and then Clara Bella is here, Eric is here, Felicia here, Ardi, Kimberly, Lawrence, Matthew C, Michelle A, Nargis, and then Natasha, Nathan V, and then Sharon, then Timothy, Tisel, Vanessa, and Vedika. So who are not here is only Sherry. Okay. Any more question? Maybe from Pavia.
No questions, teacher.
No question. Is everything clear? Pavia?
easy. It is clear. Now I just need to read the book so that I get more knowledge.
Yeah. This well we are still studying in the early chapters, so please you have to read also from your ebook in order not to be late in understanding. Because if we move forward and then you have difficulty in the middle of the theory, you have to revise again correctly. You have to revise from the video that I already made the link on Google Classroom. Okay, or you can see my compilation of the video. I usually put my video in YouTube because I can see that in YouTube it has huge storage. So I can keep my hard disk free of the storage. So the file of the video files. Okay, so you can, if you want to review, you can replay again. And then don't forget to read from your textbook. Okay, for today, I attached already homework about electronic activity on Google Classroom. So I expect you do it, and then tomorrow we will discuss it. Okay?
Yeah, wait, which homework, yeah?
Yeah? Homework
Is it, so which one is
on the Google Classroom, electronic
homework
activity.
is about the Google
Yes.
on that one.
Okay,
Yeah. Do you find
Okay.
on Google Classroom?
so we discuss about.
Yeah.
And the
Okay.
number 7.
Yeah. So we discuss again tomorrow. So good afternoon, students, and see you tomorrow. You may log out from the discussion, the online discussion.
Teacher.
Yes.
Yes. Thank you.
Thank you, teacher.
Yes, you're welcome.
Teacher.
Thank you, teacher.
Thank you, teacher.
Yes.
Thank you very much. See you tomorrow.